Alright guys, welcome to the YouTube channel of 6 Month Sabbatical. My name's Jaden and me and my partner Sarah are going on a 6-month trip, hence the name. Mostly across Europe. We've got some other little bits in there as well. Just creating this channel to really try and keep track of what we're getting up to over the next 6 months for our friends and family back home, but also for ourselves. And really just try and document our trip as best we can. So obviously this video has been taken at a different point in the day, but right now this is the route that we've taken for the first few days in the motorhome. So starting in Frankfurt, Germany, moving up through Denmark. We stayed in a town like South Denmark. From there moved across to Copenhagen and then drove up to Sweden all in the same day. So that's essentially the first 2 days. Denmark the first day, Sweden the second day. Stayed a couple of nights in Sweden, then moved up to sort of just south of Oslo. You can sort of see on the screen there. So I don't know if we will go to Oslo. Probably not. We're finding that it is pretty hard to navigate around in the motorhome. That's the plan for the first bit. The next week or so we'll be going around Norway. Hopefully get some footage of that coming shortly, including a couple of hikes as well. Hopefully that visual helps. You sort of get an idea of where we're headed and where we've gone so far. So this is our first night in Denmark, the campsite where we parked our motorhome. I did record some audio initially, but it was quite windy, so I thought I'd just re-record. As you can see, it's probably not the most picturesque campsite. It did have enough for us, as it had a toilet, it had a shower, it had a place to wash our dishes, and a place to plug our electricity in as well. We've also got some, this is where the camp showers and the camp toilets were. Honestly, that's probably about it for our Denmark campsite. Not much else to report here, not very exciting. It was on the water, probably could have got some better footage of that, but even then the shrubs were in the way and it didn't look the best. These clips are of us the next day in Copenhagen. You can see us at the back here of, I think it's Christiansborg Palace. It's kind of cool from the front, but probably not that interesting to show. I've just got terrible camera footage of it at the back there. Then we're on to Nyhavn, which is probably my highlight of Copenhagen. Just these beautifully painted buildings right on the water, with some restaurants out the front too. This last clip's just a statue in a garden in the middle of Copenhagen. Sarah and I thought it looked pretty cool. And here's Sarah just being a little bit camera shy. After Copenhagen, we then moved on to Sweden. There's a couple of bridges you need to go across to get to Sweden if you're driving from Denmark. One of them, I think, is actually before you get to Copenhagen. But this one here is the one that actually crosses the Swedish border. I believe that one cost 120 Australian dollars. The first one cost about 50 or 60 Australian dollars as well. So very expensive tolls, but we thought we'd do that instead of catching the ferry. See a bit of Sweden as well and give us another country to stop into. Here we have campsite number 2 in Varberg, Sweden on the western border. As you can see, it's sort of like a car park type thing. This is where our van's set up and it's just the back of a property. So this couple sort of rents out this space for different motorhomes to use. That path down there on the left hand side walks down to their toilet, or not their toilet, but it's a separate toilet off their property. And you can see they just have this massive amount of land, all this green space out there as well, off into the distance with this background and this sunset. It was just a really glorious night for us to stop, and we actually enjoyed this place so much we stayed here for 2 nights. Now for the one full day that we had in Sweden, we spent it in the town called Varberg. It's about 10 to 15 minutes from where we were staying, and it's right on the water, just a beautiful country town. I definitely would recommend it if you're heading up the west coast of Sweden on your way to Norway. We were actually lucky enough that today was market day as well. You see Sarah getting a shot of the market. This shot's probably not all that exciting, but it's the dock area. There's a few camper vans that I'll pan across to in a second. It's a pretty common camping spot. There's a lot of camper vans that we saw in and around the town. And again, Sarah here just checking out the water, and what a lovely spot it is. We then headed down to this area, which used to be a fortress, Varberg Fortress I suppose it was called. It used to also be Parliament housing, as well as an old prison. So it's pretty interesting to look around. I suppose this is the old courtyard area. It's just a bit of a tourism site now that a few other people that we saw having a bit of a look through. And then we're off to Norway. So this is just a couple of shots of us in the motorhome driving from Sweden to Norway. We thought that Denmark and Sweden were both very similar in terms of the fields. There's a lot of these big grass fields and windmills in particular as well. Then in Norway it was very different. Much less fields and windmills and stuff like that, but a lot more fjords and just awesome scenery. I'll show some clips of that in our next video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Never really put a video together, so I'm not sure how this will turn out. Hopefully it was interesting enough. If not, I know it's just a lot of me talking for this video, but for the next few videos there'll be a few more exciting things happening as we go to some different cities, some different towns. Just plenty more to enjoy. Thanks for watching.